Hi. Welcome to Inference. This is the place where you learn and improve. In this video, I will be talking about the people who control the world. Have you ever felt like there's a shadowy group of elites pulling the strings of society? A group of powerful individuals who control the world behind the scenes, dictating the course of history and shaping the world to their liking? It's a common trope in movies and TV shows, but what if I told you it's not just fiction? There's a long-standing conspiracy theory that a small group of people holds all the power and wealth in the world, using their influence to manipulate governments, markets, and media. This group is known by many names: the Illuminati, the New World Order, the Deep State, but the idea is the same: there's a secret cabal of people who control the world. But is there any truth to these claims? Could it be that a small group of people is controlling the world, shaping it to their interests while the rest of us go about our daily lives? And if so, who are these people? Are they politicians, bankers, corporate executives, or something else entirely? As we explore this topic, we'll delve into the history of conspiracy theories, looking at the roots of these ideas and how they've evolved. We'll examine the evidence for and against the existence of a global cabal, exploring the arguments of both skeptics and believers. And we'll take a deep dive into the world of power and politics, looking at the systems and structures that allow some people to amass wealth and influence on a global scale. So buckle up, because we're about to take a journey into the world of the global elite. It's a world of secrets, power, and intrigue, and it just might be closer than you think. As we delve deeper into the topic of who controls the world, it's important to first understand the systems and structures that allow some people to amass vast wealth and influence. At the heart of this issue is the concept of power: who has it, how they wield it, and how it is maintained. One of the key ways that power is maintained is through the control of information. In today's digital age, information is more valuable than ever before, and those who control the flow of information have a significant advantage. This is why media ownership is such a crucial aspect of understanding who controls the world. In many countries, a small number of media conglomerates own the vast majority of news outlets, giving them tremendous influence over the narrative that is presented to the public. This can have a profound impact on the way people view the world and the decisions they make. For example, if a news outlet is owned by a company that also has financial interests in a particular industry, it may be less likely to report critically on that industry. But media ownership is just one piece of the puzzle. Another key factor is the role of money in politics. In many countries, politicians are heavily influenced by wealthy donors who fund their campaigns and provide them with the resources they need to win elections. This can lead to policies that benefit the interests of the wealthy at the expense of the general population. In addition to money in politics, there's also the issue of corporate influence. Many multinational corporations have enormous power and influence, often eclipsing that of individual countries. They can use their resources to lobby governments, influence policies, and shape the global economy to their liking. This can have far-reaching implications for everything from environmental regulations to labor laws to consumer protection. And then there are the international organizations and institutions that play a crucial role in global governance. Organizations like the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, and the International Monetary Fund are all involved in shaping the global political and economic landscape. But who controls these organizations? And are they truly accountable to the people they serve? These are just a few of the many factors that contribute to the question of who controls the world. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but by exploring the systems and structures that enable the concentration of power and wealth, we can begin to understand the forces at play in the world today. As we continue our exploration of who controls the world, it's important to consider how power is exercised in different arenas. From finance to politics to culture, there are a variety of ways in which the interests of the few can outweigh those of the many. One example of this is the world of finance, where a small number of individuals and institutions wield enormous power over the global economy. The decisions made by these actors can have a ripple effect that is felt around the world, impacting everything from job growth to social welfare to geopolitical stability. But it's not just financing where power is concentrated. The political realm is another area where the influence of the wealthy and well-connected can be felt. From campaign contributions to lobbying to the revolving door between government and industry, there are many ways in which politicians can be swayed by the interests of the few. At the same time, there are cultural and societal factors that can contribute to the concentration of power. For example, the influence of celebrity culture and the media can shape public opinion in powerful ways, creating a culture where certain individuals or ideas are elevated above others. And then there's the role of technology and the digital realm, where new forms of power and influence are emerging. The algorithms and data systems that govern our online lives are often controlled by a small number of companies, giving them unprecedented control over what information we see and how we interact with each other. Despite these many factors, it's important to remember that power is not absolute. It can be challenged, disrupted, and transformed. By examining the structures and systems that allow for the concentration of power, we can begin to imagine new ways of organizing our society and creating a more just and equitable world for all. As we've seen throughout this video, the concentration of power in the hands of a few can have far-reaching implications for our society and the world at large. It's up to all of us to take action and work towards a more just and equitable world. One way to do this is by staying informed about the issues that matter. Whether it's following independent media outlets or digging deeper into the workings of the political and financial systems, it's important to seek out diverse perspectives and challenge the narratives that are often presented to us. Another way to take action is by getting involved in your community. This can mean attending local government meetings, participating in grassroots organizing, or simply having conversations with your neighbors about the issues that matter to you. But individual action is not enough. We also need systemic change. This means pushing for policies and reforms that address the root causes of inequality and injustice, whether it's through electoral politics, direct action, or other forms of advocacy. We also need to support and amplify the voices of those who are most impacted by the concentration of power. This means listening to and elevating the perspectives of marginalized communities and working in solidarity with those who are fighting for a more just and equitable world. Ultimately, creating a world that is truly democratic and equitable requires all of us to take action, in big and small ways. So let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Together, we can build a future that works for everyone. Thank you for watching this video on who controls the world. We hope it has shed some light on the complex and interconnected systems of power that shape our world today. As we've seen, the concentration of power in the hands of a few has led to widespread inequality, injustice, and environmental destruction. But it doesn't have to be this way. We can build a world that is more democratic, equitable, and sustainable, but it will require all of us to take action. We encourage you to continue learning about these issues and to stay engaged in the fight for a more just and equitable world.